And we have come to the end. This is the final episode of the One Message Away podcast, season 1, obviously. And we have talked about a lot. And I wanted to make this final episodes, somehow special. So what I'll do is I'll show my approach to differentiation, because this was the main topic of the first season, right? So it was the main sort of arc of the first season, how to stand out in crowded markets. And today I am sharing my approach, my complete approach to standing out and how to become a niche leader in your industry, in the market. So it's been a long season. We have talked about a lot. We have started this discussion with, making sure that companies understand that, the differentiation is not about being the loudest, it's actually resonating the best with your ICPs, with your best profile customers. We touched on the customers and how to get meaningful data from them, how to, what kind of data you need to have to differentiate. We talked about email. We talked about how to stand out in crowded email space. We have seen cases of how to, double, triple, 10x revenue by differentiating your product, your company. And so today is about, walking that talk, because one of the biggest mistakes I see companies make when it comes to differentiation is overhyping things, right? So everyone sort of wants to, you're afraid, or not afraid, but you're annoyed that, the competitors are getting more traction than you are. The competitors are getting more sales than you are. And so you're frustrated with that. And you just want to, hype your results up. You want to hype your messaging up. You want to improve your landing page. And so you take your website and you just change the copy into something better and bigger, right? The problem with that is that you're actually, you're pushing people towards your competition. And so with my approach, I have a 3-step approach. My approach is based on the fact that you need to walk the talk. So if someone backs you into the corner, if someone backs you into, okay, so prove that you're the best in this niche or whatever, you have the data to actually prove it, to show them, and to reassure them, or to to sell them that you are actually the authority in this field and you know exactly what you're doing. So today we're going to be doing exactly that. We're going to be going through that 3-step process so that you get and find something that you can actually use to position yourselves as the niche leader. Let's go. One Message Away podcast is a podcast on solving marketing related problems in your company, helping you connect with relevant audiences, convert them into paying customers, and becoming a leader in your niche. The podcast drops in seasons. Each season is focused on one specific topic. In the first season, we talk about how to eliminate your competition, how to stand out. Everything is supported by expert interviews, my work, my stories, my experience having worked with more than 30 companies one-on-one and more than 300 companies through workshops, helping them become leaders in their niche. Want to become a niche leader? Subscribe and get unique content to your inbox every 14 days on a Saturday. All right, so first step, this is something that I always like to do when starting with clients is you want to test if there is even a positioning problem or misalignment in the company. Why? Because positioning misalignment is the biggest company killer and product killer in the market. Essentially, if people in your company do not all work towards the common goal, if they don't know what that goal is, if they don't know the strategy of how we'll win, nothing else you're going to do is going to work. Your marketing won't work, your sales won't work, your product will be shit. And so it's completely essential that everyone in your team rows sort of in the same direction. If you have a positioning misalignment in the team, you won't be able to scale. I guarantee you that. And so not sustainably and not in the long run. And so here is the test. Here is an exercise that you can do to make sure that your team is aligned, right? So 1, ask 3 questions. Ask 3 simple questions to your heads of departments. Ask them, where do you think the company should focus in the next 12 months? What's the most important part about your product and why do users buy? Right? So ask them these 3 questions. You can add a bit more context around that, but ask them these 3 questions, like where should our focus be? What's the most important part about the product, and why do our best fit customers buy? And if you can't get same answers from anyone, and if these answers differ from your opinions as well, then you have a positioning problem, and you should definitely go through the next steps to basically align your positioning, because positioning misalignment is going to kill you. Like if sales believe that the most important part about your product is speed, but marketing thinks that it's accuracy, you're going to be talking about different things. And so marketing will be setting up different contexts, and then when sales team comes in, they won't know how to close these people, and they will be probably the wrong people to close as well. So you have to have positioning strategy aligned so that the whole team knows how to win on the market, how to best sell your product, how to scale your company. All right, so you found that you have a positioning misalignment, or you don't know why people buy from you, or you don't know how to differentiate on the market. Your cost of user acquisition is too high, the conversion rates are too low, you have any of these problems, and you want to go into a positioning project. So let's start with an audit, because we have to figure out what is it that we are even trying to do here, right? So what is the company's objective with the why is positioning right now important? Why is standing out in the market important for the company? Is it because we must get more sales? Is it because we have to get to the next stage of investment? Is it because we want to sell the company, right? So have a think about what are you even trying to do with this project, and then how are we going to do it? So with one of the companies that I was working with, they were doing a solid 8 figures, and they wanted to triple that revenue in the space of five years. And so what we really needed to figure out, we knew that just selling more products is not an option. So we knew that we had to find an alternative product or something else that we can offer the clients, right? And so our main question was, what else do we have the permission to offer to our customers? Because they've already purchased from us, what else can we offer them, right? Both to existing customers and obviously to the new ones as well. So that's a typical question that comes in, right? How can we improve? How can we triple the revenue? So in my example, what can we offer them? That now becomes a key question that we need to answer. So what can we offer to existing clients, right? So and this becomes really important for the second step, because in the second step, you're going to have to answer that question, right? Because if we don't have an answer to that question, obviously we can't scale. So how do we get an answer to that question? Well, this is where the growth team comes in. So essentially what I put together is what I call a growth team. That consists of every department head in the company. So we have head of sales, head of marketing, head of B2B sales, head of digital sales, head of product, head of design, head of brand, and so on. And we put them in a room together. And the goal of this team is essentially just one, and that is to find answers to the questions that you get in the audit. So the growth team is there to find the data on the market so that we can inform the business strategy and the positioning strategy, right? So how do we do that? It's going to be your typical surveys, interviews, focus groups, anything market-centric, any market-centric test comes into play here, right? So in our case, for example, what I like to typically do in these cases, I like to start with post-purchase surveys, simply because post-purchase surveys are such a great tool to get information from the clients when they're happy with your brand and with your product, right? Because they just bought from you. And so if they just bought from you, that means that they are happy in that moment. And so they're more willing to give you answers to your questions. And so what we started with was, why did you purchase, right? That's the most simple question that you can ask. Why did you purchase, and would you like to talk about it in a quick Zoom call? And so that's how we got the first interviews with people. That's how we got to the clients. And because this is typically one of the biggest challenges when it comes to uncovering that data, right? So if you want to answer the question, we want to triple the revenue, what else can we offer our clients? The problem is going to be that you'll want these clients to come to a Zoom call, and that's difficult to do. But with a post-purchase survey, I actually kind of makes it easy to do, and that's the importance. That's where the importance of brand really comes in as well, because the stronger your brand, the easier you're gonna get to these interviews. So we have done the audit, we analyzed the data, we got the questions that we need to answer. We started getting people to the interviews through the post-purchase survey. What do we ask them? Well, we asked them exactly that. What was the experience like? What were they searching for? What were their needs like, right? So you were looking for these and these features. Why is that, right? Why were those features important to you? And the deeper that we dig, the more the truth is gonna come out of these interviews. And at the end, you're gonna see that these people were buying for to increase their status or to make more money or whatever it is. But you now know like what else what else can you offer them, because they're looking for an increase in status with your product. Good. What else can we offer them that increases their status, right? What's a good add-on to your product? So once you have the answers from the client interviews, what you do is you design 3 positioning strategies. So based on the answers that you get, you can test whether a positioning would work for your company or not. So for example, in our case, we saw that we basically have 2 options. Usually I do 3. In this case, we had 2 options. We could develop, for example, 5 different physical products and add to our lineup. The second option was actually to create a subscription model. So basically offer them a digital product next to the physical product that we already had. So typically what you'll do, you'll try to get 3 options based on what the client say, and obviously based on your gut feel and your knowledge and experience as well. Turn that into 3 different pathways for the company. So how does a company look like in the next 3 to 5 years if you follow that path, right? What are your products? What's your product strategy look like? Where are the competitors in that space? What does that mean for your company? Which path makes more sense for, more business sense as well? And you test it against the team. Firstly, so you test can we even deliver that? So if we want to add 5 additional products, do we have the team to do that? Or if we want to do a digital product, do we have the knowledge, the skills, and the team to offer a digital product, right? And so you need to test whether that works against the team. But you also need to test if it works against the market. And so at that point, you can actually either go with the focus group. So you actually design a test for the focus group, where in the focus group you can present the product and test the pricing sensibility, for example. There is a thing called the Van Westendorp's test, pricing sensitivity test. So essentially you can check what price is essentially too high, what is a painful price but still good enough that you would actually purchase this kind of a product. What's a good deal for you, and then at what price point is the product too cheap to believe that it can actually deliver the value that you're looking for. But you can also do this with a landing page test. So for example, you place ads that lead to landing pages that have mock-ups of your product, and that leads to a waiting list or something. Or you can take if you have an active email list, for example, you can take a portion of that list and just send them an email with an offer for the new product, and then test if they react. Because if existing clients don't react, where you've already built their trust and credibility, new clients definitely won't, right? So you can test in different ways whether the product makes sense and whether the positioning strategy makes sense for your company. And so this is basically the approach, right? So you have your audit, you figure out what's missing, you check your data, you figure out what's missing, you ask the right questions. When you have that, you form a growth team, you go onto the market, you find that data that you're missing, and you basically inform the strategy, and then you develop 3 different positioning paths, 3 different positioning strategies, and you test them on the market. And these are the 3 steps. But remember, everything starts with 3 simple questions. Go and ask your head of sales, go and ask head of marketing, go and ask the CEO, go ahead and ask the head of product, what's the most important focus for the company for the next 12 months? What's the most important thing about the product, and why do people buy? Ask them these 3 questions and see if their answers different from yours, and if their answers differ amongst themselves. Because if you have a positioning misalignment, then essentially you need to start doing this right away before your company starts thinking. So if you're interested in learning more, I'm gonna put a survey in the description. Just click yes, I'm interested in this, because I am about to prepare a 90-day plan on how to position your company as a niche leader. And if I do get your interest, obviously I will be sending this to you as well. So click on the link below, answer a few questions, and let me know what you're interested in and what you would like to see in season 2 as well. That's already being prepared. So, give me your thoughts and I might answer the questions that you have, help you out, position you and your company obviously as a niche leader. That's it for this season. Thanks to all of the family and friends who have been patient as well, because next to client work, this filming took a bit of my time as well, and so if I was unresponsive, I do apologize. Thanks to everyone who listened in and watched on YouTube. And yeah, click on all the like and subscribe buttons. Obviously, if you want to get more content like this, subscribe to the one message away newsletter, and may our customers love you and understand your product.